by the way, like next year is starting to pick up in the UK in terms of boxing. I'm hearing about all sorts of shows, and one of those shows is a big Manchester one. I'm assuming it's going to be at the Co-op Live Arena. Again, it's not confirmed yet, but so many people have said this. And Derek Chisora versus, I'll use this term loosely, your man Jarrell Miller.
My man, big baby Jarrell Miller, the guy who's had all those positive tests for performance enhancing drugs and so many disappointing performances. This fight is interesting. It is a UK heavyweight versus a US heavyweight. Miller lost to Daniel Dubois in the absolute final seconds about a year ago in Riyadh. And then his only fight since then was kind of a desultory 12 rounder in Los Angeles, a draw with Andy Ruiz. That fight probably could have gone 6 rounds and been enough, but instead it dragged to 12. Meanwhile, Chisora, he's coming off of he's 2 fights removed from that TKO loss to Tyson Fury at the end of 2022. Picked up a pair of good wins, beat Gerald Washington, and just beat Joe Joyce by decision in July. But it's been a long career for Chisora. He's 40 years old. He's had 48 fights. Has a style where he takes a bunch of punishment. Could have had a storybook ending with that win over Joe Joyce. Do you think he should still be fighting?
No, I shouldn't. I don't think for his health, I don't think it's wise for him to carry on. But that's his decision to make. Again, I was fortunate enough to be ringside for that fight at the O2 Arena when he beat Joe Joyce, and it was a special moment for him because that was what was promoted as his last ever fight at the London's O2 Arena, which is a really magnificent place. And it was a great fight, and the crowd came out for him, and he got the win over a younger, decent, a younger fighter, a decent fighter. Lots of people that didn't really expect him to, and he's like that heavyweight that doesn't go away. I mean, what's your thoughts on Derek Chisora continuing to box?
Boxing isn't Hollywood. As much as Hollywood loves boxing, it's very rare for a fighter to go out on that storybook ending. Um, it's very rare that fighters even retire at the top of their careers, like we saw with Lennox Lewis, retiring after the Vitaly Klitschko win, or Joe Calzaghe retiring, or Andre Ward retiring when they did. I can imagine that if you are Chisora, you've just scored this victory over Joe Joyce, and you think that you still have got it. On the other side, so many times a fighter will lose and they think, oh, well, I know what I did wrong. I know what I can do better next time. I hope that Chisora comes out of this fight, win or lose, in good health and at some point can enjoy the fruits of his labor for what has otherwise been a very storied, interesting career.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he can. I hope his health doesn't get in the way of him enjoying the millions and millions of pounds which he's made. And um, it's understood that he's been very, very wise with his money, and he's a wealthy man. And listen, he likes the limelight. He likes the attention. He likes the press conferences. He loves all that. He's an entertainer. We'll miss him when he's gone. When I say will, that's the royal will. Um, there'll be some people who won't, and I get that and understand that. If we all like the same thing, it'd be a boring old world. But he has been entertaining. He's also done some things which I wouldn't class as right. But when he does go, I think he's a character which the sport will miss indeed.